Okay. All right. Okay. So let's just start. What I'll do is I'll start by sharing my screen, and I'll walk you through the deck. There are a couple of things that we want to cover today. This is so every month we host this Intro to Glific webinar, which is into sharing about what a chatbot is, what a WhatsApp chatbot is, and how can organizations, NGOs can leverage WhatsApp chatbot for their organization. So the overall idea is to share with you how can you leverage WhatsApp chatbots, and also we'll share a bit more about the product. We will also open up space for questions that you might have during this 1 hour session. So I'll tell you at which all places we'll be asking questions. I will be giving you the space to ask questions, and yeah, so that is what the overall agenda is going to be for today's call. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible, Diksha? Just confirm. Yeah, okay, great. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's just start. I'll start with a question, and you can type down your responses in the chat window. The question is, do you know this number? What does this number mean? If you can just put down your guesses, even if you can unmute yourself and share what this number is, that would be great. Any guesses? $535 million users of. Okay, thanks, Isha. Okay, people online on WhatsApp at a point in time of this tool. Okay, great guesses coming in. Okay, so 535 million is the number of WhatsApp users in India. That's the total count so far. And every year it's increasing at a rate of 17%. So by 2025, this number is going to 730 million. So which is like 73 crores, which is quite a high number. So this is what the number is. And most of our people, friends, family, our communities are using WhatsApp these days to communicate with us. I'll ask another question. How many of you have used WhatsApp to communicate with your beneficiaries or for your programs? If you can type down yes in the chat window. Thanks, Shannon. Okay, as per what we have also seen, there are quite a few organizations that are using WhatsApp to have a conversation or to run their programs on WhatsApp, or to just have an engagement, have a chat with their, with their communities on WhatsApp. I'll just start with a small case study or a small example of how an organization, an NGO has used WhatsApp, and and I'll also talk about what are certain things that they have explored on WhatsApp. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is Antarang Foundation. Now, Antarang Foundation if anyone knows about Antarang Foundation, what they do is basically they provide career guidance to young adults. Yeah, they offer career guidance sessions for young adults, and what they do is they conduct series of sessions in school for young adults, for students who are in 10th, 11th, 12th grade. And the idea behind doing this is they want to bridge the education employment gap, and they want to build a lot of awareness around different diverse career choices. So they, through their programs, they are not only spreading awareness, but also sharing about different programs which these young adults can pick up once they go out of their school. And they also support their alumni, the people who have gone through their programs, on support their alumni or through different workshops and events that they conduct on a regular basis. Now, what Antarang started doing was basically what their aim was, how can we make sure that we give 24/7 guidance to all young adults who are aged between 14 to 25. That was one important thing that they wanted to do, which was an aim for them. And the key thing is 24/7. Now, most of the time, people are not working late in the evening or late in the night, but students might ask questions, right? Or students might have queries around different career options. So their important aim, their key aim was to make sure that they're able to do it 24/7. Now, as an initial experiment, what they did was they started multiple different WhatsApp groups, okay, depending on the interest of the students. Now, some are interested in X type of career options, some are in Y type of career options. So they created different groups, and on the basis of those career groups, on the basis of interest, they also started sharing their posters, like, hey, if you want to become a chef, these are the 10 ways in which you can become a chef. Okay. And through those WhatsApp groups, they realized that there are a couple of challenges which they faced while operating with WhatsApp groups. Couple of them were the messages which they were sending on the group, they were not able to track the engagement. They were not able to understand how many people on the group has actually engaged with that material. What's the impact of their program? There was no scope to understand whether is this personalized to the reader or not. They were not able to figure that out, and they were also not able to track what's happening with the content which is being shared. Is it effective or not? Does this need to be changed or not, right? And at times, because of over spamming content to users, they used to leave the WhatsApp group, or they used to ignore the messages, not respond to messages over WhatsApp group. Now, one thing which they did was they moved to WhatsApp chatbot. They ran a small pilot in April 2021, and eventually from there, now they're able to send personalized messages or personalized career information, career guidance to 30K plus students. This number is slightly old. It's more than this now. But yeah, the idea is basically from running a small pilot to scaling it up and making sure we're sending personalized information to all 30K users was a big thing for them. They also what they also did was they also saw that when they were sharing about a workshop or signups for a workshop over a WhatsApp group, they saw that from there, if they would have, when they moved to WhatsApp chatbot, they saw that the attendance also of these sessions increased by almost 150%. More students were able to sign up for their workshops because they saw like, hey, this is a personalized information that's been given to me. So that is what WhatsApp chatbot helped them to, not only scale, but also send these users personalized information. By personalized, I mean information which is the user is expecting or is useful for the user. That is what they they were able to deliver at a large scale. Now, I'll just pause here because we'll now be shifting gears, and let's just be talking a little bit more about, what exactly a WhatsApp chatbot is. Okay. Yeah. Just before that, just another thing, sorry, which I missed telling you, was how they're tracking the data. Now, their data they have created data dashboards. Now, these data dashboards are basically simple Looker Studio data, Looker Studio reports, which the organization created based on the WhatsApp, bot. And through this, they're able to now track the engagement, see how many users are there on the chatbot, how many are active contacts, what is happening with their chatbot over time, what's their bot rating, what is the user's geography, from where are they accessing the content. So there are different ways in which they were able to track the engagement, and this is purely customizable, and this is what they've realized that they wanted to do it. So that's how they have done it. But yeah, this is something which any organization can do it as per their requirement. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Let's just move into what WhatsApp chatbot is exactly. So if we generally use WhatsApp on our phones to communicate with, people in our close network or people at work. We generally use basic WhatsApp, which is for personal use. It's an app based. You would see an app on your phone, you download an app and then you use it. Similarly, WhatsApp Business, it's also app based, but it's for limited number of users. Now, the third one is WhatsApp Business API. This is basically what WhatsApp chatbot is. It's platform based, it's web based. In this case, you can have more number of people from your team to have a conversation with n number of users. Okay. Basically, the key difference between WhatsApp Business and WhatsApp Business API is definitely app-based versus platform-based. The other is, here you can automate your conversations. What I mean by that is, now I'll share a small example. If you are delivering a program, or if you are handling, queries on WhatsApp, and on WhatsApp, let's suppose there are 10 people with there are 10 users or 10 students, for example, are asking you questions over WhatsApp. Now you'll be able to still, reply to those questions one-on-one and respond to their answers, respond to the questions which they have raised. Now, let's suppose if that number goes to 1,000. For one person to respond to those 1,000 messages is 1,000, cater to 1,000 people over chat becomes difficult. Now, let's suppose that goes to 10,000, right? And you see that there's a pattern of repeated conversation. There's a pattern of, similar sort of question being asked. And this person is sort of replying the same type of questions over and over and over again. Now, is there a way to improvise that? Or is there a way to, improve that? One way is by automating the conversations. And that is where WhatsApp chatbot comes into picture. You automate those questions. Now, if a user asks a particular question, bot can directly respond to that question. And if there is a human required in the loop, a human can also jump in. But bot basically, handles all these questions, queries. So that is one way in which WhatsApp Business API can be leveraged. Okay. Just talking about WhatsApp Business, WhatsApp API, WhatsApp chatbot. So Glific is a WhatsApp chatbot builder, which is specially made for nonprofits. And we have been working with more than 90 plus NGOs who come from diverse sectors. We have quite a few in health. We have in health, quite a few in education, quite a few in healthcare, civic engagement. We're working with different sectors. It totally depends on what your problem is, and it's not restricted to only just the few few sectors. yeah, these are a couple of partners. I'll just pause here for a bit. If you can identify a few, if you know any of these. Okay, so yeah, just 1 second. Yeah, so how can you leverage Glific? These are a couple of ways in which current NGOs are using Glific. And it's not restricted to only these use cases, but this is just to give you some idea on how can you leverage Glific. Okay, so these are just I've just put down for education, healthcare, and agriculture. For education, you can use it for multiple ways, for sending activities, tracking class performances, deliver teacher training, and tracking their progress. For health, you can send nudges, you can send reminders to users, you can set up your FAQs, helplines. Now, FAQs is something which anyone can set up, right? It's not only restricted to one sector. Then agriculture, most of the organizations are using it to send farming advisories. How can they take care of their crops better? What's the current mandi rate, right? Without a human sharing it with the farmer, now bot can directly share it with the farmer every day in the morning. Like, hey, here is the mandi rate for this particular crop. So yeah, so these are like couple of ways in which Glific can be leveraged. So wherever you see a scope of digitally interacting with your users and you want to happen it at scale, you can, deploy Glific. Okay, so I'll just pause here because there's a long monologue from my side. If there's any questions so far, we can take 2-3 questions now.
Hello, Sneha. Thank you so much for that presentation. I just wanted to know what would be the minimum number of users. That's one question. The other question is, do we have to pay for this? And also, how do we, cater it, very specific to what we want? Is there a way, or is it, so that. Those are my 3 questions. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so I will be basically, Shannon, covering all of those in the next
Okay. Sure.
phase of it. Okay,
Okay.
I think I'll be covering all of those. Okay, if you
Great.
can just wait for
Thank you.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions so far?
One question, I don't know if you're gonna cover it, but
Sure.
regarding regarding tracking the engagement, right, of the individuals, how, so regarding that, like, how do we, I mean, um, do we create those dashboards by ourselves, and how do we create those dashboards basically? Like, is there a way, yeah.
Okay. So dashboard creation. So what we do is, I mean, when you get onboarded on Glific, we also share a template dashboard with you. Okay. That is a basic dashboard which will give you some information on how you can track your metrics, right? But if you want like something more customized, or like in Antan's case, it's very specific to their chatbot, right? If you're looking for that sort of information, that is something which is quite customizable and you can do it by yourself also.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Krishna, if you can just share V5 template over the chat, that would be helpful.
Sure.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so let's just move to the next bit of it. Just 1 second. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about now is how the platform looks like. Then we'll move into other bit going forward. Okay, so like how I mentioned that it's a web-based platform, right? This platform has once you log in, this is how your the home screen is going to look like. On your left side, sorry, on your right side, you will see different chats. the chats where you can see how the bot has basically interacted with different users. And once you click on any of those, you can actually scroll up on one of those chats and see the history. Okay. On this side, you can also see basically all contacts. How many of them, from how many of them the messages are unread, not replied. Okay. On your left side, you see different menu options. Chat, speech sense, flows. Flows is basically where you actually build a conversation. Now, because this is a tool to automate your conversations, you have to, load your content in advance. If a user wants to, if a user wants an information for a particular thing, you have to actually preload it. And whenever a user hits a keyword, that same information gets triggered. Same information then gets triggered to their WhatsApp. Okay. Now, this is how a chatbot builder looks like. Might look little confusing, overwhelming if you're seeing this type of nodes and all for the first time, but it's pretty easy to build. It's pretty easy to use. You have, you have different, basically through these nodes, you can create your, flows on Glific. You can see different options here. There are button features, there's simple text features, messages that you can send just as a text, or messages you can send which are more interactive, where the user doesn't have to type anything. They just have to click on one of the predefined menu options. Okay. So, and there's also a preview window here. Here, if you click on preview, this pops up, which gives you some idea on like how your conversation is getting, how your conversation is panning out. Okay. So this is on the platform. I will be sending you a product demo video, which is slightly in depth after the call, so that you can also have a look at it. Okay. Okay. Now, one important question is Glific right for you? Now, there are a couple of ways in which you can, think about whether it's right for you or not. The first one is, if you are an NGO, you're engaging with at least 500 beneficiaries. Now, this number is sort of not fixed, but we see that this is a good number when you're trying to automate your flows or automate your conversation, because you have, already manually tested communication on WhatsApp, and you see that there's a scope to automate things. Now, your number of users are pretty big. If it is in this range, it's definitely something that you can explore, and you're also looking to scale. That's one. The another way to look at the same thing is, if you have multiple different programs running with, let's suppose, a slightly lesser number of beneficiaries, but there's high touch point. Right now, the same set of, let's suppose 300 beneficiaries are also involved in, let's suppose, teacher training, are also involved in like feedback collection and things like that. This regular touch point on a weekly, daily basis, then also you can think about implementing Glific for your programs. The other is, you should definitely have at least a team member who can, handle this platform from your side, right? And have funds to manage the platform. I'll be talking more on pricing towards the end, but yeah, we definitely need someone who can take the ownership of running the platform. At times, organizations don't have the bandwidth to, run Glific or run a chatbot service, because they don't have a dedicated team, dedicated person on their team who can look at this. Okay. So these are like some essential points. I mean, we're happy to talk to you about if there is any more thing that, if you see that there's any of these which are not fitting in with your, list, we can surely talk about those as well. Okay. Also wanted to call out that Glific is a strong community. By strong community, what I mean is, we provide active support through Discord. So Discord is a active communication channel like Slack, if you know. So if you have any questions, you can post it on Discord, and our turnaround time for those queries are pretty good, and you can get any sort of support with respect to chatbot on Discord. We host quarterly sprints. So quarterly sprints are basically quarterly planned meetups with NGOs, where we work with them on a a understanding if there's any challenge with their respect to their chatbot, and they want to level up their chatbot. Basically, try to understand how can they engage their beneficiaries better, implement some of our features, and take their program to next level. So those are like dedicated spaces every quarter, which is in person. These are like in-person meetups for 3 days. Okay. Then we also have spotlights or level up webinars, which are more focused on the product, or more focused on an upcoming feature. Now we also having a level up with Glific on 20th. Krishna, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
we have
exactly.
we have another webinar coming up on 20th, which is level up on Glific. That's on ticketing system. Like how can you use Glific? How can you use ticketing system on Glific? So yeah, so these are like monthly sessions with that also help you to uh, take your bot to the next level. So these are like couple of things that we do. We also host weekly support hour conversations. There's a lot of engagement that happens, cross learning that happens with NGOs during sprint. You also get to network, you also get to learn more from other people and how they're working on their chatbots. Okay, so now, so we have moved towards the end. There are a couple of questions which Shannon asked. I'll just start with. Okay, let's just start with one question which is there from Shannon first. Shannon, you asked a question around pricing, right? If I'm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So one question which is around pricing. Okay, great. So Glyphic it's a SaaS SaaS product, which means is like, hey, you have your you already have the content ready. You can take the monthly subscription of Glyphic and run it by yourself. Okay, and that comes at a monthly subscription cost of 7,500 per month. Okay, and plus on top of that, we also charge a one-time setup fee, which is 15,000. Okay, so these are the two platform costs. Now the third cost is the WhatsApp fee. Now all the messages now that you're exchanging on the platform, or you're sending or receiving through the platform, are charged at a particular fee. Those are the fee. That's the fee which is determined by our by WhatsApp, and plus our BSP, which is Meta service WhatsApp service provider. In our case, is Gupshup. I mean, I will send you the full details over email, but the pricing is like split between these three sections. Okay, Shannon, you have more questions to this one?
No, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. So there's a question on the chat. What are the skills the person from our organization should have for running Glyphic? Okay. So Isha, there's no as such hard skills required to run a chatbot. Someone who knows your program, someone who has interest in creating those flows. There's no technical skills required as such. What we also do is we train, at least if you have a POC from your end, we also put in efforts to train that person on Glyphic, but no hard skills as such required. Someone who is able to take lead, knows the program, has some analytical skills, is good enough to run a chatbot from your end.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any more questions? If not, what I'm going to do is I have a list of questions ready, handy for you to just talk about some essential things that you need when you are setting up Glyphic. Okay. At times at times organizations have asked us these questions. The first question is like, hey, what is the setup process, and how long does it take to set up Glyphic? So now when you're setting up Glyphic or setting up a WhatsApp chatbot, in this case, you would require a phone number to run your chatbot, plus the Facebook page of your organization. Okay, these are the two essential things that you need while setting it up. Now, there's something called as Facebook Business Manager verification. Basically, Facebook is trying to verify whether you are a legit business entity to run a WhatsApp chatbot. So they are pretty, stringent in giving this service to different organizations. So they do a check. So these are the two things that you need. And at times, these two are the most time consuming bit. Okay, it takes between 2 to 4 weeks to complete your Facebook verification process. And once that is done, we set up your account in a day's time. Okay, so that is on the setup process and how long does it take to set up Glyphic. I've already answered this question, like, does setting up Glyphic requires any technical expertise? Okay. If you already have an existing system, you want to integrate it. Now, if you already have, let's suppose, if an education NGO, you already have an LMS in place, right? Or if you have an app in place and you want to, boost the engagement on the app, can you integrate the app to WhatsApp, right? So those sort of integrations are quite possible on Glyphic. Okay. The next one is, what are different modes of operation for Glyphic? What I mean by that is, one I already told you, like, is the SaaS model, right? But at times organizations also don't have the bandwidth, or they want to deploy Glyphic in a very short time. What they do is they end up taking our consulting services. Consulting is basically, our when our PMs or our product managers, our developers are helping you in building your flows, building your chats, that's what the consulting model is. So you can opt between consulting and SaaS depending on couple of things, like what is the urgency, do you have the resources, do you have a team member, so all those things, right? Then we have already spoken about the pricing model. Is there a free trial available? So if you are, so what we have like a sandbox account, a staging account that we can give you as a trial account, which you can use to figure out whether this is something that you would like to explore or not. Okay, so if you're interested, you can just share your email address with us over chat, and we will share a free trial account with you. Okay, I'll just pause here and see if there are more questions from your side. Okay. Any more questions? Isha, Ashish, Shannon, Manohari?
No further questions. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if you don't have any further questions, what we can do is we still have like a couple of minutes here remaining with us. If you want to experience what a WhatsApp chatbot is, I'm just going to share this, share my screen with you. You can scan this QR code and you can, explore how a WhatsApp chatbot looks like. So this is our own Glifix WhatsApp chatbot. This is just for you to, see how a chatbot works, right? And over the email, we'll share more details on different use cases as well. So yeah, and if you have more questions, you can, stay back on the call. If you want to, drop off, feel free to drop off as well. Sure, Shannon. Thanks. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave my contact details here.
Okay.
Sorry, Manohari, you're saying something?
Yeah, no, thank you. And we will, if there is a need, a clarification, we will contact you.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for joining in, Manohari.